Hail adventurers, my name is Defi and welcome to my solo D&D series titled The Fates We Roll. Last episode, Gun and Alana learned about a conflict that happened about 4 to 6 years ago here on Fatria. 6 factions warred to take control of the region to gain access to a bundle of wealth and power. It's only from a note Zarius found on one of the dead assassins that leaked the name Steelix, and a brief history lesson from Holly that paints a picture of who this human is. After that, a little girl in a uniform was standing at the entrance of the warehouse, which Holly drops a bombshell that the Hands has a job for him, and it is here we continue. The girl grips the doorframe with tears about to roll down her cheeks, like the rapids descending from a waterfall. She is wearing a blue cotton jumper with a crest of some kind of elegant bird, and her shoes are made of a thick, rich black leather which is scuffed and caked in mud. "Come on in, Sasha. These two won't bite." With a gentle wave and a beaming smile from Holly, the little girl shyly walks into the warehouse, being careful of the amount of litter on the floor so she doesn't trip. "Hello, Sasha. My name is Alana, and the sour-faced man over there is called Gan." Alana welcomes her. "Oi, who gone sour?" Gan raising his voice, only to lower it again immediately when the girl was taken aback and running behind Holly for cover. Sorry Ian, I didn't mean it." Holly starts to crack up. "Oh, it's okay," stroking Sasha's head. "So, what's the job? And what's it got to do with her?" "Well, she's the daughter of a very powerful politician, a man named Maximilian Edwards. He is a major supporter for free trade and equal mercantile rights in the region, and he highly favours the Sapphire Hands. According to the family nanny, Maximilian was taken from their estate in a coast town called Midtide, came in the middle of the night and was arrested for treason, although we don't believe that. Since then, the Edwards estate was on lockdown with guards. The nanny managed to get Sasha out of Midtide and all the way to Driftwood. They arrived this morning with the news." Could the attack last night have something to do with the situation? "I think so. Seems like things are acting quicker than we were expecting." "Okay, so who are we up against?" First, we ask the question, is the arrest by the order of Steelix? 4 is a straight no. We ask, is the person or group behind this arrest connected to Steelix at all? 3 is another straight no. So this is a different entity altogether. We ask a final question. Is this a rival faction or political group opposing Maximilian? 18 is a straight yes. So we'll roll some keywords and roll on the NPC table to find out who this group is. We got the keywords burial, unseen, question, and warrant. The NPC, we got true neutral alignment, weird, and climbing the ladder. As far as we're aware, they are a newish department of the government that runs things here in Fatria. The government is split into 3 major sections, one for culture, one for comments, and one for law. Maximilian is part of a rival party which is trying to gain votes for the next election in a few months' time. So we think that the current party, known as the United Wealth Party, may have done some dodgy business to underhand Maximilian's party, simply called the Blue Coalition. The UWP, simply put, favours trade with massive taxation and leaving little profit for honest merchants. Also, they aim to put groups and guilds like us out of business, and simply label us bandits, thieves, and any other crude name they can come up with. The people who is most likely behind the actual arrest is a new faction in the law department called the All-Seers. Not much is known about their origins, as they tend to keep their operations unseen from the common eye, and only deal with the most political of intrigues. Their preferred method is to issue a warrant straight away and question them immediately. Not to mention, they keep their secrets buried deep, so yeah. It's weird a new faction just pops out of nowhere and gets a major spot in the government like that. And we've heard they don't take sides either. Only the truth and judgment matters. Yeah, I hope that explains things. It does. A struggle of power and a game of chess. We really can't get a break. Helena shakes her head. So what's the plan then? Find evidence and prove he's not guilty of this treason? Rescue and hide him until we can prove he's innocent? We roll on the quest table to determine what is the main course of action. We roll a 76. On the table it says, adventurer thrown into life-threatening situation, environmental or otherwise, and the main quest type, simply put, is survive. We roll some keywords as well to describe the future event. We got familiar, severed hand, proof, and food. Also, we'll roll some more keywords to determine the allegations on what evidence the UWP has to accuse Max of treason. We got fugitive, important, check, and vacant. We find evidence. We have a few leads in multiple groups going after him. Yugon, we need for a special job. You see, the evidence the UPW has is that Mr. Edwards is housing a notorious fugitive. This man is called Firkan Lightflow, a male Freeborg. He's an environmentalist with a side of trickery. This guy is against the UWP, as they want to sacrifice most of Phaetria's woodland. However, he was taken out, if you will, so Maximilian never housed him. Also, they say that Maximilian tried to bribe one of the top important officials to resign so he can take his place. A check of 6,000 gold coins was offered to vacate his place. Of course, this is baloney as well. They really have it out for him. Alright, I think you need my special skills. Gun laughs. Alright, where are we going? And how soon we leave? We leave in a few hours. We need to check out a place called Bronze Front Hall. This is the base of operations for the UPW. We're gonna break in and see what we can find. With a bit of luck, we might be able to find something that can prove Maximilian is innocent. Then present it to the All-Seers and that should be a job done. Holly takes out a bag of gold and puts it on the table. 30 gold coins, 15 each to get some supplies and equipment. Right, I need to take Sasha back to her nanny. She wanted to come along to make sure we were doing something about her father. Right, I'll take my leave then. I'll meet you at the front gate in a few hours. Holly gives a slight wave as she escorts Sasha out of the warehouse. Gon takes a big breath. Well, shall we? Helena nods as they both gather their belongings and head straight to the merchant quarter. The sun beams a radiant light, which bounces off the calm, crisp, serene waves of the bay. Gulls are heard overhead, and the bells of ships are ringing an echoing chorus announcing the same monotonous routine of Driftwood Port. Whilst travelling through Driftwood, as this is Gon and Alana's first proper trip, we'll start to build on the port. First we roll on the settlement type in TSAT Part 2. We roll a 4, making it a town of a population of 1,500 to 6,000. Next, we'll roll a D100 to roll a percentage to get an exact number. We roll a 10 for 10%. 10% of 6,000 is 600. So Driftwood's population is 2,100. Also, on TSAT Part 2, it explains that town settlements have 6 to 13 districts, including artisan, commodities, government, house and hospitality, military, and residential. Next we roll what kind of establishments Driftwood has. There is a table in TSAT 1 where you can roll a DC check to determine this. Driftwood contains inns and taverns, adventuring supplies, animals and mounts, jewellery and gem trader, armourer, bank, tinkerer, tailor, food and drink seller, temple, thieving supplies, weapon shop, blacksmith, land sales, entertainers guild, healers and physicians, shipwrights, and a workers guild. Gon and Alana decides to split up to achieve what they will need in order to complete the job. We'll start with Gon. The way I will determine items is from a mixture of their class and background. Also, I will be using some form of a generator to narrow some choices and make things a little bit more realistic. First, I will roll on the quality of merchant table in TSAT 1. This will determine how many items will be for sale. This includes atrocious, poor, medium, good, or excellent. The way I'm ruling this is on how many items will be for sale. Atrocious will be 20% of the items up to excellent, which will be 100% of the list. Then I'll be using a website called 5e.tools to generate the items. I will use filters on the site to get the correct listing, then roll a d20 to make a list. The number of the d20 will be how many items on that list divided by the quality. The streets are bustling as Gon heads towards a store that is advertised as adventurous supplies. He takes a slow pace as he contemplates on everything that has happened to him. His usual cocky expression turns into a stoned face of doubt and worry, as the realization of the situation pulls on his soul like 1,000 weights tethered to a decaying cliff face ready to bring down the mountain at any time. With a shake of his head, he realizes that he would just have to be professional enough to get by. Answers for a job or two is more than enough for him to keep moving on. After a few minutes walking, he arrives at a store with a green door and nature-themed stained glass windows. Above the door is a sign called the Heavy Satchel. Gon walks in as a bell is chimed. The store is surrounded by shelves of all kinds of adventuring gear. From the corner of the shop, a pale white dragonborn walks towards the counter. God sir. Welcome to the Heavy Satchel. A store which will fulfill all your adventuring needs. I am Neil the Balvash, and how may I serve you today? Gon takes a look around the store to determine the quality of the shop. We roll on the quality of merchant table. We roll a 9, which is of medium quality. This means the list will generate only 50% of the items available. Hail friend, I'm looking for some gear that can help me traverse across terrain or perhaps help me get out of sticky situations. Say no more. These are the items I have for you today. My next shipment doesn't come until tomorrow. The list contains a jug worth 2 copper pieces, 1 ounce of manga leaves, 2 gold pieces, wyvern poison worth 1,600 gold pieces, a pride silk outfit worth 500 gold pieces, 2 silvered arrows worth 20 gold pieces, and a signet ring worth 5 gold pieces. What does the manga leaves do? They are nutritious. Many a hunter uses them for a quick snack. That says that they can heal minor wounds as well. However, I have heard that if you ingest too many of them, it can be lethal for the stomach. We have 3 in stock.
Alright, I'll take 2 of those. And what is that signet ring?
Ah, well spotted. If I remember correctly, this was pawned off to me a few weeks ago. I waited for the owner to come back, but never did. I've been waiting for someone to take off my hands. It's yours for 5 gold.
Gon takes the ring and looks at it. It bears some kind of crest. We ask the question, does this signet ring have any tie with the main quest or current/future events? 11 is a yes but, meaning that there could be a catch or some possible significance with this ring. We'll roll some keywords to describe it. We got representative, scepter, heat, and code. The ring is made of a multi-shaded red alloy, mixtures of reds and oranges. Set on top is a glistering ruby, quality carved to perfection. Within its many levels of esteemed angles and curves is an image scratched of a scepter. It's surprisingly warm to the touch, and along the base of the ring is some kind of runic writing. Gan cannot read this nor decipher what kind of language this is. Gan, who used to work in dodgy selling, and pretty much anyone who has an eye for quality knows the 5 gold pieces is a steal. So we ask the question, is Nilda hiding any sensitive information about the ring? 16 is a yes.
Are you sure you want to sell this for 5 gold? I'm no gem expert, but this is worth a lot more. Or is there more to the story than you're letting on?
Please friend, honest, I swear, the person just left it here. I just trade in adventuring goods. If it was worth more, then why did he leave it here instead of the Zen trader up the road?
Sweat starts to run down the brow of the Dragonborn as he takes out a red handkerchief. Gon does an insight check to determine if he's lying. At the same time, Nilda rolls a deception check. Both have a +0 modifier. Gon rolls a 10 when Nilda rolls a 1, a crit failure. Gon knows a liar when he sees one. The shaky hands, the sweat coming down. It's all the evidence he needs to know he's lying. Gon has to think on how to approach this. He can't manhandle, and the guy looks way too stubborn to persuade him. He tries a little deception, as he has experience in sending people the wrong way.
Well, I guess if you're not willing to tell me, I'll just go get the authorities. They might be able to squeeze it out of you.
Gon puts the ring back onto the counter and starts to slowly turn towards the door. Gon rolls a 9 for his deception check, which with Nilda's current state is more than enough to buy into it.
Oh, wait. We don't need to waste such important resources for something that's trivial. Okay. It belongs to a male human, or human. We Dragonborn tend to call him Hume, so short. He was middle-aged and he wore a smart suit. Definitely not your usual type around here. He was in a major rush when I served him. He asked for a quick price, so I offered 2 gold just to joke with him, thinking he wouldn't take it, but he dumped the ring and left with the gold without saying anything. I tried to keep my notes out of other people's interests, so I have no idea about the ring. So I was just waiting for a buyer, and you showed up. So, are you still interested in the ring?
Yeah, I am. I don't know, but I might find some use for this. I can feel it. Right, I'll take the ring and the 3 ounces of mango leaves.
After paying 11 gold for the lot, his inventory looks like this. Across the other side of town, Halana walks along the harbour's edge in contemplation. Finally getting some time to herself, she looks out towards the water's never-ending stretch which melds with the horizon beyond. I wonder if Sylvester made the right choice sending me and Garn off. Sure, we would be arrested, possibly executed. At least the 5 of us would go down together. Alana smiles, reflecting on the good times before the events that happened in Antarctica. She follows the smell of iron, the sound of striking steel, and the sight of black smoke as she heads towards the blacksmith's district. Numerous people are rushing past her. Races are diverse, carrying materials and tools as the sounds of hammering, the hissing of water, and the shouts of artisans producing their craft. Halana finds a sign hanging off a shed's entrance. Simply says, "Smock Smash." Halana lets out a little giggle as the simplicity of the sign catches her off guard. She walks into a room full of black smoke. A roaring heat is felt onto her arctic white skin. The sound of hammering matches her footsteps beat for beat, luring her closer and closer in. As she approaches to the center of the room, a hulking figure of a creature is bashing a sheet of molten steel.
Who you? Customer or sightseer? Smoke busy, hurry,
he commands with a booming voice. Business, I'm here to browse your stock if possible. Smock gives a half grin, delighted to hear interest in his work, but casually dismissing the intrigue at the same time.
Okay. Go through that.
He points to an open door which is off to the side of the entrance.
See? 1V. Shopkeep.
Alana nods, letting the orc get back to work. She steps in to see a female at the counter, polishing a battle axe. She has autumn-fair hair, casual clothed, and an aura of warmth emanates from her. Upon further examination, she has a pair of copper-brown feathered wings. The woman spots Halana and puts down her tools and beckons her in. Welcome. I take it you met Smock, the blacksmith of this hell pit? An addictive worker him, trades all his socialism for perfecting his work. Anyway, my name is Wanvi, and yes, the wings are real before you ask. I was born with them. I'm what's called a Aesmer. A divine born, but I'm no holy woman, I'll take it that. Well, what are you here for? Halana finally takes a breath of clear air before responding. I'm travelling with a companion. I'm looking to stock up on weapons for the both of us, or some kind of useful metalworks. Say no more, you came to the right place. We roll on the quality of merchant table. We'll roll a d6 -1 for the result. We roll a 5, giving the shop an excellent rating, so that includes the 100% of the list. We now roll a d20 to determine how many items are on the list. We roll a 20, so that means this blacksmith shop has 20 items for sale. Studded leather armor worth 45 gold pieces. Iluqua, 1 gold piece. Crossbow bolt, 5 copper pieces. Short sword, 10 gold pieces. A glaive, 20 gold pieces. Wooden staff, 5 gold pieces. War pick, 5 gold pieces. A staff, for 40 arcane, 5 gold pieces. Great axe, 30 gold pieces. Flail, 10 gold pieces. Chain shirt, 50 gold pieces. Hide armor, 10 gold pieces. A mace, 5 gold pieces. Longsword, 15 gold pieces. Plate armor, 1,500 gold pieces. A box of 20 crossbow bolts, 1 gold piece. A heavy crossbow, 50 gold pieces. Great sword, 50 gold pieces. And dagger, 2 gold pieces. Nothing I really need, but I do have some dabbling in magic. I'll take a staff. That will help with certain spells. Sure, one staff, here you are. She hands over a chrome metal staff with a carved design. Shapes of diamonds are etched into the metal, and on top is a black onyx gemstone. That gemstone on top has been enchanted to react to certain aptitudes of magic. We have a partnership with some local wizards. That gemstone will react to users of arcane magic. Could think I'm somewhat of an expert in it then. Sure, I'll take the staff. It'll be a useful aid. After Helena pays 5 gold, she bids farewell to Wanvi and to Smog, and sets to rendezvous with Garn and Holly at the main entrance of Driftwood. Helena's inventory looks like this. The sun is starting to rise at its highest peak, signalling midday, and activity is picking up as well, as the common folk is popping up like sheep to their morning feed. Holly is waiting by a statue, dressed in combat gear. She is wearing a suit of golden chainmail. At her hip sits a special kind of crossbow, small enough to wield with one hand, and it has a small box welded on the bottom of the bolt chamber. Also, she wields a golden kite shield with a blue cross design. In the middle of it is a pair of silver angel wings with a blue sapphire hand in the middle of it. Ah, haven't you been told never to keep a lady waiting? Just joking. I take it you got everything you need? Garn and Helena both nod at the same time. Alright then, we're on our... Just before Holly finishes her sentence, a horn can be heard, followed by a chorus of trumpet blows. Within seconds, crowds start to gather together to see what the commotion is about. The town guards commands orders to the onlookers, pointing to different positions on the floor and setting up a wall of polished steel and leather.
What in the nine hells is going on?
Garn asks with confusion. I have no idea. Let's take a look, shall we? She points to a roof of a nearby house. There is a ladder casually lying to the side of the wall. Within a minute or two, Garn, Helena and Holly climbs to the top of the square roof. The footing comfortably secure and no risk of slipping off, as there is a waist-high wall to support them. It's more of a viewing platform than anything. The three start to observe the area. A clear road is cut between the crowd with a line of armoured men keeping the population at peace. From the north of their position towards the town centre, they can see small dots but can hear the footsteps of horses, the creaking of wheels, and the hypnotic rhythm of marching. Waiting in silence, a parade of armoured men wielding swords, shields, and halberds. Their armour is a shiny bronze colour with a gold tint along its many edges. Up and down the breastplate, the vambraces and plate leggings. On the shields of some is an emblem of some kind of white animal with a bronze crown.
Who are these guys? Pretty well armoured and well respected, it seems.
These are the main mercenary forces of the region. These bootlickers are the hammer and anvil of the government. The Bronze Kings they are called. Well, you could say they are the government. Most of their higher-ups are in the government, including our dear friends, the UBW. They've got their finger in every pie here. The question is, what are they doing here? Continuing to watch the march, in the middle of the convoy is a single carriage being drawn by 4 brown horses. This carriage is very bare and is only covered by bars of steel. A jail carriage, it seems. Holly squints at the carriage. Hold on a sec. She does a perception check. She rolls a 5. Holly can't really see who's in the cage, but jeers and shouts can be heard from the crowd. So we ask the question, is the prisoner in the carriage Maximilian? 9 is a no but. Okay, so we ask, is this prisoner related to the main quest in any way, shape, or form? 19 is a yes and. And is it someone we recognize? 12 is a yes but. But is it someone from the Sapphire Hands? 18 is a yes. We ask one more question. Is this prisoner alone? 10 is maybe, so we'll leave it for suspense.
Someone you recognize?
No, well, I can't really see from here, but reading the crowd, he's not well liked anyway. Probably it's just some crook or something. Anyway, we don't have time to lose, we better get going. As the three climb back down from the rooftop, the procession starts to wind down. The last remaining columns start to exit the front gates to the town, and the crowd starts to disperse. With a new direction, Gon, Halana, and their aide and guide Holly starts to leave the town. The wind blowing at their backs as a sign of good fortune and will. What will happen to the group will be revealed next time.